Do you ever look on Instagram, Flickr, Facebook and all the other social media to find wonderful looking locations that you just are aching to go and take some photos in? And you're thinking, I can't go there, I can't afford it, I don't have the time, all kinds of, it's miles away, all of these reasons. Do you ever think there's just nothing around you that's interesting enough to take photos of? I think we all do. Things like Instagram and Facebook are probably a lot to blame for this. So if you're in this mindset, you need to get out of it, and you need to get out of it pretty quickly, because outside that door there's a big wide world and it's aching to be photographed. There are interesting photographs everywhere. I can assure you there are interesting photographs everywhere, and that's what this video is about. So I'm going to take my camera, I'm going to go out into the wilds of the village that I'm living in, and we're going to take some photos. So the principal aim of this is to demonstrate to you that you can just walk out your door, walk a few hundred yards and get some meaningful photos. Now, I know immediately, as if you look around right now, I know immediately there's going to be a whole bunch of people that turn around and say, but we don't live in such a pretty place. There aren't any photos around me that are going to be worth taking. Well, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. This may be a small coastal village. The sea, you can just see it peeking out over there, may be a real interesting focal point. I'm not going there. I'm walking into the village. But you might well turn around and say, well, I live in a city. There aren't any photos there. I live in a housing estate. There are no photos there. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. There are photos everywhere. And I'm going to demonstrate that by taking meaningful photos of things in the village that are normal. So come with me. So first shot, just to completely illustrate the point that I was making, I was literally 30 yards perhaps up there, and I walked down the hill a little bit, and just a normal suburban scene is this gateway with some flowers out the front, some planted, some weeds, bit of the house in the background. I am going to use I'm going to put a wide open aperture on this, so I'm going to go to 3.5, pretty wide anyway, so we get the foreground in focus. And what are we on here? Yep, we're good. f3.5, 1600 of a second, and first shot in the bag. I might put that into black and white, I'm not sure, but it's a photo, and I've walked 300 yards from my front door, and it's a photo that you would find anywhere in your local vicinity, unless you live in a concrete jungle, and believe me, there's loads of opportunities in a concrete jungle. Just a simple shot of the driveway and building that's been converted, once a majestic house, now converted into flats. And I've also got a shot of the for sale boards, or sold in this case boards. Just interesting documentary shots. I don't expect in any way to get humdingers today. I very much doubt there's going to be anything that goes into my portfolio, but that's not the purpose of the shoot, is it? The purpose is entirely to prove that there are images to be had everywhere, and show that if you're in a creative rut, then you can just walk out the door and get photos that you didn't perhaps think were there. Just the corner house, and if I photograph it from the corner, Wait for a car to go past. Pull my shutter on my aperture down a bit more. Get myself a slower shutter speed. You came bloody close, didn't you, pal? I think I just might need to move ever so slightly so I'm properly on the corner of it. It's a coffee house. It's not open, unfortunately. Right. Wait for a car. Two cars. Got a bit of motion blur. Quite a nice little shot. Doorways and gates. Always worth photographing doorways and gates. Got that one with a car moving past. I don't know whether it's worth waiting for that or not. The difficulty with doorways and gates is because they're so square, you've got to get your framing absolutely right, otherwise they look wrong. And I do not know how well this is going to work, because on the back of the camera it can be very difficult, particularly if you're in the middle of the road as I am. Right, tied up to the street sign, really rather nice. 3/4 on it, and push my aperture to f9 to ensure that I've got it all in focus. Down a little so I've got the base of the sign. Quite like that one. And that one's definitely staying in colour. Sometimes you just don't know how these are going to turn out. It's just another simple shot. Sorry. Yeah, just a simple shot. Barber's sign. Wait until there's something to fill the frame on the left hand side. There are things to photograph, believe me. And always follow the same advice. So barber's sign there. And turn around, because I've walked up from this corner, and just down here, just got the nice colours of the post office sign, the red box, the green around it. I don't think this is going to be terribly good from my... It might work. I don't think my angle is good enough on it, or I'm not close enough with a 40mm lens here. And Christ, does this drain around here stink. But anyway, it's... I can't push the shutter speed. Well, I can put the shutter speed up, or down I should say, but probably not enough to make a lot of difference. F11, yeah, I need to get closer to this one, but just goes to show there's a nice shot behind you. There's often a nice shot behind you. So always pay attention to what's behind you. It's a few steps down here. Can we get it now? That's better. It's much better. So there's a cat just down here on a bench outside. I'm not really equipped for for long work on this. Get us an open aperture. The cat's nice and bright. Lots of bright fur on him, so I'm going to have to really stop that down a little so I can get him. Hello, cat. F3.2. Throw the fence down. Hello, cat. Hello, cat. Are you gonna? Can I interest the cat in any way, shape, or form? Don't think I can. Hello, cat. Does it work in? It might work better as a landscape. Cat. No. Can't interest the cat. Probably not a great shot because the cat's not really looking at anything. But I don't want to stand around there looking like a weirdo for too long. I like old signs. I just like the humour in them, given that what it's saying here is this is a home watch area. And nice blue sky. sun over my shoulder, and just gone in slightly, but creating quite a nice shadow down there. Slightly humorous image of the kind of faded sign indicating that perhaps it isn't a home watch area anymore. I mean, I'm sure it is. You know, I'm not encouraging anyone to come up here and start doing any robbing or anything like that, but it's just the general lack of maintenance on the sign, I suppose, is what I'm looking at. And I think also there's a shot here. Now I am largely trying to get shots that are, you know, that you'll get kind of anywhere, not just in villages and such. But I like the view of the path. I'm trying to avoid getting these cars in. Just like the view of the path with these blue flowers down here. Well, these are weeds. Pull these things out all the time. They grow very fast. But let's throw our aperture up to f14 to ensure we've got depth here. Cars, let's monitor that. Keep low. There we go. Another shot. Maybe you can't get that shot everywhere, but somewhere in your local vicinity there is going to be a row of houses with 9 railings and some flowers out the front. And yeah, they don't have to be great shots. Don't forget, every time you go out taking shots, you're practicing, and you can get back and have a look at what you've got and contemplate how you might be able to improve upon them, or how you might be able to process them so they look better. All kinds of things. Yeah, as much as anything else, just get out. It's practice, and as I keep saying, there are photos available to you pretty much everywhere. Now another gate here. When I got here, the sun was just out from the cloud that's up here, and because it's in front of me, it's shining on the windows of the house behind me and throwing a nice pool of light, window light if you like, onto the road here. And that really added a level of another dimension to this shot, which I think otherwise, you know, I'm not gonna say is brilliant, but it's interesting. So I'm just gonna wait for that light again, and I'm hoping there will be some, because if there's not, let's piece the camera. It's a complete waste of time. Little things like this in walls fascinate me, and there's all kinds of ways of shooting this as well. You can put it in the middle, you can put it off to one side, you can include more of the wall or more of the surroundings to describe where it is. There's lots of opportunities for things like this, and I think I'm going to take a selection because I don't know what I'm going to like when I get back. You've got to laugh at some signs, and by the same token I think you've got to photograph them. Oh heck, that's way too, I'm not paying attention to the camera. Right, there we go, F5, 50 of a second, have a read of that. I don't know whether there's a shot here. Set the camera up without really looking at it much, but no, I think there probably is. Give myself kind of F4, 5, 3/4 on it. I think perhaps pull down to chest level on it. keep the road out. Just someone selling jams and marmalades down the side of the road. Car out of the way. Just a shop. Probably a nothing shop, that one. But seems to be a day of signs. This one's really parochial. F2.8, just to completely throw everything else out. Not that there's a lot of throwing to be done, but there we go. I just find some of these rules just curious. I mean, obviously there's a reason for it, but if you just walk up to it and you're in a children's play area, a big field, and no kite flying. I don't know. One thing I do need to stress is that although I've lived in this village for about 6 months, this is actually the first time I've done a walkabout. So any of the photos I've got today, I've seen today for the first time. And I hope that's proving that you don't have to know the area to find photos in the area, because there are compositions everywhere. You might think you live in some dull place that's infinitely more dull than this, and yeah, the problem is that familiarity breeds contempt of these places. Concrete jungles. I grew up in a concrete jungle. It's now flattened, but if I think back to all of the lines and the regularity and everything of it, I think, hell, you know, the visual opportunities of it were amazing. But you know, things like this exist in all cities. You know, just because I happen to be by the sea, and you know, just over there is the sea, but this is probably about the closest I've been to on this photo shoot. You know, it doesn't mean to say that the place is more picturesque than where you are. It's just visually different, I think, is the best way of putting it. So, as much as the sea is back that way, there's a car park over there, and I got a shot in the car park. I don't think it's a good shot, but there's a bit of a leading line. Interesting colour car. Just a shot. It's not going to win any awards, but I am not going to walk back via the sea. I'm going to go back that way, go back through the village, and to some of the more modern parts of it, and see if there's any shots I can get there. Certainly Mundesley Village Parish Council, village, I don't know, the councillors locally, they've got a real sense of humour. Because as I saw this sign here, from further back there without the glasses on, I could read the big text, and I thought, well, there's going to be some clergymen that are not happy with that, but no, they've covered it. I've got 2 shots in this location, I think. I get down low and square to this building here, I got something just vaguely interesting, which I was contemplating black and white, but I think the colour contrast with the green works very well. I don't know, I'll just do another exposure of that, pull that down a little. Just I suppose a nothing shot. They're not none. I'm doing myself down. Very few things are nothing shots, I think, because we take them for reasons. And just the textures and the colours of this grab my eye. But over the back here, there's something that's familiar to many people who live in England, and that's I mean, I'm guessing what it is just by the design of it, and you know, well, the lack of uninterestedness or interesting architecture on it. But I'm certain it's the local telephone exchange, and God, it's so drab. I've got to photograph it. Well, certainly right. It is the local telephone exchange, probably built in the 1960s, 1970s. Aluminium doors and reinforced glass in the windows. Jesus Christ, it's fucking ugly. But photographically interesting. So I could probably have fun here for quite some time without ever getting inside it. So heck, I mean, I hadn't seen any of this before coming over here, but I have some nice reflections of the cloud and me, sadly. Okay, so no reflections of me now, but just reflections in the windows of the skyline and the buildings behind me. Probably the best shots I've taken here. I just love the lack of maintenance to the doors. The reflections are great. I hadn't seen those. I really do love the reflections. Just concentrate on this keypad. Many years ago I was asked to write an article for a digital photo magazine. Can't remember which one, but the subject was urban decay, and it got me very much changing my view of how I photograph things, how I look at things, because I started at that point really noticing that I should be taking pictures about things rather than pictures of things. And it's, I suppose there's a subtle difference. If you check out the video that's appearing here, then you can get a more fuller an idea of what I'm talking about. So please click the like button, click the subscribe button if you want to see more, and we'll see you on the next one. You take care.